Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. Recording this on November 7th, and the Tariff King has won the election. Tariffs are coming, so I'm hoping to buy another ton or two of bismuth before he steps into the White House. And a few other elements, some indium and tellurium, especially the ones that come from China, because that's where the tariffs are going. And aside from the issue of tariffs, I also want to get a little bit ahead of the curve in terms of investments because of some observations that I made about life in general. So I like to think I'm working at a dream job now. I teach at a couple of community colleges, and they are some of the sanest jobs that I've ever taken, right? I've had a dozen jobs in my career, and I gotta say I currently have some of the sanest jobs that I've had during my career. I gotta give them that. But even then, my first day on the job, I was sitting across the table from somebody who was drinking a coffee in a loud and disgusting sound. And he's a good person. I can't bring myself to forget about that. Every time I talk to him, there's still this hurt. And it's not directed toward him. The hurt is that I feel like a pawn in the whole system, right? I don't get to walk away when I hear bad noises. See, if I go to a restaurant or I go to a event, right, and there's bad noises, I can walk out of that, right? I don't want to be a pawn in the system. Today's November 7th. It's Mary Curry's birthday. She turns 157 years old, and unfortunately, I have to come to work. Now, I could have taken the day off. I will give them that. I don't think the college would hold it against me if I took the day off. But I was on Tuesday. I was seeing one of my favorite students, and we had discussed about a problem that he had missed on the exam, and just as I was talking to him, I felt such a good feeling that I went ahead and canceled the day off. And once again, you feel like a pawn in the system when things like it's the anger isn't directed toward the student, the class, the anything. It's more the system itself, right? And I could go on and on, right? When we first returned to the office, and I got back to the office and I realized I couldn't put my foot on the table, posture issues. You just feel like a pawn, and again, it's not directed at whoever I was working with, right? It's not directed toward WTU. I was teaching at a different school. It's not directed at WTU, right? It's not directed at my manager there. It's not directed at any of the students there. But you get the idea, right? Sometimes, 5 years ago, I had a binge eating. I'm a recovering binge eater, right? And sometimes the continuity of the workday doesn't really bode well with my recovery process, right? So I work as a professor. I can't just eat in the classroom. You might say, well, what's the big deal? Don't you want to stop binge eating? Well, the thing is, I want to eat when I'm hungry, right? And sometimes just before class, I might be 13 hours into a fast, and which could go on another hour, but I got a 3-hour lecture to give, right? It puts a pigeonhole, right? And again, it's not directed at the classroom. It's not directed at my boss, the students, the course contents, or anything like that, right? You feel like a pawn in the whole system, right? So my goal in 2025 is to free myself from some of this. Now, would I quit my job? No, I don't think so. But I want to be a little bit more free so that when something comes up, I don't feel so constrained, right? Like I said, I could have taken the day off today, but after I had that beautiful conversation with the student, something compelled me to cancel the day off, right?